In three. Wait, hang on. I gotta pull up my music slowly. In three, two. Oh, I'm scrolling up.
Congratulations, you can count.
Yeah, there we go. In three, two, one. Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 93. On this new Galaxy style episode, we're seeing Stars Direct and more NX rumors, plus your questions and more. Now let's get this show on the road. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Dads podcast. My name is Zach Erickson, and tonight is August 31st, 2016. Joining me once again, Justin's gone again. Slacker McSlackerpants is gone, but Jesse Waldak is here, of course. What's going on, Jesse?
It's 2 weeks in a row. Wow.
I know, he's skipping. We're going to have to fill the seat. And, of course,
He's not going to come back with another accent, is he?
He might. Never put it past him. Joining us as well, filling the seat, as usual is the case, is, of course, Dave Moore from Dayspace.com. What's going on, Dave?
What's going on? Character Crunch is fine. Character Crunch is a fine place to say. It's the most related to Nintendo Dads, I would say.
Nice. Right on. Well, it's good having you on the show, good sir. And I will... You know what? I'm going to... Should we just head straight into the news, dudes? Let's just do it.
Yeah. Do it!
I was actually going to yell that after the music, but the fact you did it during the music was still pretty good.
I actually, yeah, right on. Very cool. So, of course, our news is brought to you by OneUpBox.com. OneUpBox.com is sending all sorts of awesome stuff to people. You know, boxes with stuff, one-up boxes in the mail. So, of course, if you want to be getting those sorts of things, they have all sorts of sweet loot stuff. September's theme is Adventure 2, which is awesome. And the picture that they've got on their website, by the way, is really awesome. It's got like Mario and Luigi and Link and Darth Vader. So,
Wow.
So, wow. You know, check that out. Of course, if you use the code Nintendo Dads, that'll get you $3 off your first month's order, which is awesome. And so, and there's, I mean, they've always got tons of cool stuff here. So go and check those guys out. Huge thanks to them for everything that they do for the show and for supporting us. We really appreciate it. On to the news. So you guys, we have a direct coming up tomorrow, and Nintendo dropped us a wonderful bomb even before then and announced some new hardware.
Whoa.
Yeah, new hardware, which everybody's excited for, right? It was the NX. Oh, wait a minute. No. Sorry, hang on. We had a laugh about this in the pre-show. There's a new 3DS XL coming out, which they actually brought Reggie out to record this video, this new 3DS XL, and the full name of it is the new Galaxy style new Nintendo 3DS XL.
Is there an old Galaxy style new 3DS?
I don't know. Like the new Galaxy style new who is in the name making department at Nintendo?
That would be marketing.
This is like, you thought that the new Nintendo 3DS XL was a stupid enough name with the different color variants, with like red variant, black variant. No, they actually had to call it the new Galaxy style, all in caps, right? Like the official name, new Galaxy style new Nintendo 3DS XL. The new name of this show is the new Galaxy style Nintendo Dads. New Nintendo Dads. In fact,
you can't even put it together. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Oh, I can't. Okay. Anyway, so the name side.
Fire marketing. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Guys, I think we have our title already.
Yeah. The thing is, and by the way, if we ever have to do like a volume 2 of the show where like one of us leaves for whatever reason, we're just gonna rebrand the show as New Nintendo Dads. We have to. By the way, that's 14 syllables in a product name. I just want you to notice that. Anyway, so
it's so bad. It's the worst.
It is the worst. Absolutely.
Santa, can I get a new Galaxy style new Nintendo 3DS XL?
Yeah. So here's the video. Let's get some sound here. Whoa, the sweet
Space.
space.
Space, the final frontier.
Here. I'm here to introduce an out-of-this-world look
Oh no.
Nintendo 3DS XL. This is the new Galaxy-style new Nintendo 3DS XL system.
See, he said the whole thing. He said the whole thing.
Same great features you know and love.
We
This-
don't know how many takes it took.
I wanted to make sure everyone could get their hands on one as soon as possible. We're shipping these beauties today, so you should be able to find them in your local stores starting this week. The new Galaxy-style new Nintendo 3DS XL is available at a suggested retail price
So
of $199.99.
All right.
You'll excuse me, I've got some work to do.
Oh my gosh.
You have if your work involves you coming out to announce things like this, that's fine, I guess, Reggie.
Does
But
your work involve firing your marketing department?
Okay.
Galaxy,
yeah.
Okay, here it is again. Here to get just I honestly feel like I need to clip this out.
the new Galaxy-style new Nintendo 3DS XL.
Okay. Anyways, so that's enough about the name. The name's stupid. What are you guys' thoughts on the look of this thing? Because
All right.
they made such a big deal out of it, and so I feel like we have a direct coming up tomorrow, which we'll speculate about that, so that people can say how wrong we were in literally 12 hours. But yeah. So what are your thoughts on the look?
Jeff and I talked about this on Character Crunch yesterday, right? And the conclusion we came to essentially is that, like, does anybody in the world think this is cooler than, like, the Majora's Mask edition of the Nintendo 3DS?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Probably more
Or-
accessible
yeah, but like,
because the Majora's Mask sure as hell wasn't.
but
Yeah.
but there's enough limited edition new 3DS XLs. Let's just call it the full name, to go get one that actually, like, suits your style. Does anybody love this Galaxy style so much?
You know what I wish my new Nintendo 3DS XL had? It's more white gaseous clouds and stars.
I thought you were going to say matching leggings.
Yeah,
But like,
with the
like, what if
picture that they have on the Twitter account. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
we'd be way more excited about this if it were like a Mario Galaxy edition of the new,
Yeah,
like let's be honest here. Like,
Oh,
that would
but
be,
We'll find out tomorrow, won't we?
that was what I tweeted out. It was like, no, Nintendo, it's Mario Galaxy. People are excited about. They're not galaxies in general, right? Like it's a really weird looking thing, but I don't know. I think there's probably people who are looking forward to it, right? Like,
are there though, Zach?
I don't know. They focus group this stuff, right? Like, they gotta focus group this stuff.
I know. I got the black new 3DS XL when it launched, and it's showing wear and tear. Like like over on the side here where my palms rest, it is literally worn down. But not enough for me to spend another $200. But
Yeah, my red one is getting a little bit not worn. It isn't the right word, but yeah.
I've got the Pokemon one, so I can swap the plates twice. So I'm good. I've got twice the use out of mine because it's got
So you've got the little one. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Because I had an XL. I had a Pikachu limited edition Pikachu XL that I still have. It sits on my shelf. I love it. But I definitely just wanted a smaller 3DS because I wanted to carry it with me more. So I like the smaller edition
all right,
better.
so maybe you can answer a question that came up in the line chat this week.
Okay.
The display on the new 3DS is larger than the original 3DS. Yes?
On the regular size, I would say
Yes.
yes. And I mean, I could go get both of them because Ashley's got a regular.
Because
3DS
I thought there was a small size increase, even
Yeah,
though
I
the
think
form
so.
factor wasn't.
There's
I
less
think
bezel, I think. Yeah.
I think it's super slight, but
and it's just the top screen. But
Yeah.
I think there's less bezel on the top screen. But yes, other than that, there's not like the actual dimensions of the device. I don't think it's negligible.
Right. I think the case itself is still similar. I think the screen was a little bit larger. I just wanted clarification.
I think the case is just a little bit smaller.
Oh, really?
Which is probably what makes the bezel seem smaller. Maybe. I don't know. Now I'd have to go get them, but now they're in a far away place.
Or maybe it's smaller because when you snap on the faceplates, that makes it the same size.
That's possible.
Yeah,
It's-
actually.
I don't know. I've still never seen a regular a non-XL new 3DS in the wild.
It's nice. I like it a lot. I like it better than my XL, I'll be honest. But that's the original XL. But it's also shinier and newer.
Yeah. Well, and the thing, yeah, it's just weird to me that I don't know. And there was a rumor later on. I don't know if we have it in the show notes, but basically, that Nintendo is planning on. This is, of course, the great prophetess Emily Rogers saying now that casting her into the future, looking. She's saying that 3DS is going to be supported until 2018 is the current plan. So I don't know where she gets this information.
I'm starting to discredit every one of these rumors as the days go on. I start to speculate. I start to think about it more, and I'm like,
this is all just BS.
you know what? None of this works. None of this is true. I'm done. I'm becoming a cynic about the NX. I'm like, if Nintendo doesn't tell me what it is, I'm done getting my hopes up.
You're starting to think it doesn't exist at all.
I kind of do feel like that, though. Like, is it real, Nintendo? Just
is this real life? Yeah.
Is it live or is it Memorex? Was that the old commercial? Speaking of dated references,
I don't know, but that sounds amazing. I don't know what that is.
Really?
I don't know.
Wow, that's really dated then.
So yeah, anyway, so next story we have 3DS and Nintendo Direct is tomorrow. Specifically about the 3DS, they've said it's not going to be about the NX, although I really think that they need to tell us tomorrow when it is going to be. Like,
yeah.
enough of this. We're not sure. We don't know when it's going to be. Like, we need to know by tomorrow at the end of that Direct that they need to instill hope in us.
Yeah, if this thing's 7 months out, they should know when they want to talk.
They need to say, "We'll see you later this month for the Nintendo NX,"
or even at the beginning of the NX or of the Direct. I know they've said it before, but at the beginning of the Direct, just say we're not going to be talking about NX now. Look forward to hearing from us later this month. Yeah, you're right.
This month.
In fact, I think if we don't hear, like, because not everybody follows everything as much as we do, they really should say it at the beginning of the Direct so people aren't waiting. You know what I mean? So that would be my guess, is that they will just show it they'll say that at the beginning. I don't know. So let's talk, by the time people actually listen to this, it will already be over and the Direct will have happened. So let's speculate, shall we?
Unless you're one of the listeners that will jump on it at 5 a.m. when this thing posts.
Yeah. Which you people are crazy. I love you. So what are you guys thinking? Let's say like 3 things that we think are going to be in this Direct. It's 3DS related. Dave, let's start with you. What are your like top 3 things that will be covered in this Direct?
They're going to cover that Animal Crossing New Leaf amiibo support thing.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, I like that. And it's the perfect time to do it because the game just went on the Nintendo Selects. So it's a good time to remind people to go out and buy that. I like that. Okay, so that's one. Animal Crossing support, amiibo support.
Does anybody know what the actual figures do yet? Do we know?
I think if this is the case, then it might break the game, honestly, but I think it might actually
just summon the animal.
I think what it does is I think this is my guess from what I've seen, is that it brings in the animal into your campground. I think that would be my guess, is to have them be, and then it's still a gamble of whether or not they end up moving into your town, but you have a much higher chance because they're already in your town, right? So,
but didn't we establish that the figures and the cards do something different, and we don't know what the figures do? Like, I thought that was a thing.
I see. Oh, see, because that would be interesting if you could actually get Tom Nook to move in. That would be crazy interesting. I don't think that's going to happen though, or like Isabelle or whatever to move into your town.
And the villager figure, does that do something special? No, who knows?
Yeah.
Didn't it do something? It did like give you like a gold statue and Happy Home Designer.
It'll give you a bell.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. It could be really interesting. But
all right, my last question on this: the last time I went into my Animal Crossing town, in New Leaf. Everybody was like leaving, and it was dark and scary.
There was weeds everywhere.
Yeah, there was weeds everywhere. Like, is anybody gonna go back to their town?
I might actually. Depends on how good this is. Like, are they adding additional support and gameplay other than just standard Animal Crossing stuff? I'll try it.
Well, the Splatoon amiibo do something. We know that. So, like, there's some sort of functionality there of
Yeah.
some kind.
I think it's that they're adding new Nintendo themed items into the game.
Part of me wants to just start over.
Just
If this-
other down.
Yeah, just restart my village completely. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't decided. The great thing is though, Dave, is that when you have a million weeds in your town, there's a great little mini game that unlocks. So there's that. Where it's like, I've done that before. It's like, oh yeah, there's a million weeds here. Go and find as many as you can and do that. Like, so, you know,
kind of slightly off topic, but there's a YouTube video, an animation of like the mayor returning to the city after being gone for like 2 years and just seeing what much of a disaster it is. It's almost like a civil war has happened within the city. And
wait, is this for real?
yeah, it's on YouTube, a little animated short that someone came up with. Not Nintendo.
Oh, it's like, no,
It's not.
It's a fan creation, Zach. Don't get
dang
excited.
it. That would have been awesome.
It's not kid.
You
It
like,
is.
you like some, like,
It is
I don't
not
know.
kid friendly. I'll warn you there.
Okay.
But the now I can't remember her name. The dog that works with you, but she tried to keep the city going with putting in her own ideas, and they always backfire. And it's I have no idea who put that video out. But if you come across it, it's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
I'll try to look for it and put
Nice.
Maybe I'll put it in line chat. I don't know.
Very cool. Next, okay, so that's your Animal Crossing one. What's your second one, Dave?
Oh, I have to have a second one already?
I have three, man. Or okay, Jesse,
Let's round robin it.
that's right.
I'm going to steal this one before anyone else does. The Picross 3D 2.
Oh, yeah. That's what I said. That's what I think too. You think it's going to be available today, like basically a Rhythm Heaven release,
I would
Rhythm Heaven style
much
release?
appreciate it.
That would be awesome if
I
they
also
did.
wouldn't be surprised if they say October 17th somewhere.
Or like, oh, yeah, holiday. Yeah.
Holiday, so December 23rd.
That is the kind of game that you put that in a 2DS bundle or a 3DS bundle, and that thing, actually a 2DS bundle, and that thing flies off the shelf.
That would actually kind of rock. Because I still say, I call Picross 3D the best DS game.
Oh, totally. No, I totally agree.
I think I've said it on the show before.
Does that game have 3D support in the actual game, or is it basically just like a 3D version of the regular DS game?
You talk about the
The new one. Does the new one?
I presume it will. It definitely has additional functionality, like like some of the squares will actually chisel off into triangles and to create smoother models of whatever you're chipping away. And I think there's like different colored numbers that represents different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen. So it's been out in Japan for a year and a half now, so I don't know.
Right.
And amiibo support.
Oh, that's right. What? Yeah. Okay. So, I definitely think that's that game. If that game is not announced, it's not coming over. Like, I feel like that's where we're at with that game. Is that if it's not announced tomorrow for North American, European release, it's just not going to be here. Yeah, I agree. I think for me, my first one, I think we're going to see Pokemon Sun and Moon, and they're either just going to show off more Alolan forms and stuff, or we're going to see the starter evolution, like the evolution, the first stage of the evolutions from the starters. That's what I think.
That could be big.
That could be huge if they announce that. Which at this point they've announced how many freaking Pokemon? Like, do they have much to announce left in that game? I don't know. But
I think if they're announcing stuff this early, they have to have a plan to get to November. Like, they have to have a timeline of things to announce. They're not gonna. I mean, I guess they got to have like 3 more big announcements for Sun and Moon. I don't know what they are, but there's got to be like 3 more big things, even if they're just more Alola forms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's freaking me out. But
I kind of like the fan created Alolan forms. Some of them, I saw like a pink muck saying Alolan form muck. I don't know if that's real or not, but-
I saw a Slowpoke with a beret and a baguette, which I thought was genius.
or a slow king with the fruit hat.
Yeah, no, it was you get the baguette and the thing because it's French, and like all these ones are like what's the thing? What's the like all of Sun and Moon are Hawaiian, but like X and Y were all like French, right? So he's got like totally the French style. I thought it was hilarious. Anyways, I'll just explain that joke more and maybe it'll anyway. kill the humor of it. So yeah, what else was it? So that's what I think we'll see probably maybe even both. Or we're going to maybe get more information about that weird wristband thing that they're doing. That could be another possibility.
The
Z-Ring?
Z-Ring.
Yeah. The what? The C ring? No, the Z ring.
Zed.
It's the Z ring. It's very important that you use the Canadian pronunciation of Z ring because if you accidentally say C ring instead of Z ring, that's totally different. So
Z.
yeah, Z
is in Zach.
the Z ring. Okay. Next,
I've got another prediction.
Okay, let's go for it.
I think we're gonna see Detective Pikachu tomorrow.
That was my next guess.
Oh yeah, dude.
I think it's time. There's no way.
Movie of all the Nintendo Pokemon games to be licensed for a movie, it's like prepare for the 2018 blockbuster hit. Yeah.
It's the worst fact that that's the first thing we're getting is a movie.
Voiced by 1991 Penguin.
But yeah,
More dated references for you.
I like it. Yeah, no, I think I like your chances. I like your chances. What about you, Jesse? What do you got?
Now I got to think.
I stole his idea.
Yeah,
Is Dragon Quest 7 out yet?
No, that's supposed to be out in September sometime.
They've got review copies right now. That's
Yeah,
gotta be.
They are out.
They gotta
I saw that. I
That'll-
tried.
Anyway, go ahead.
I want my copy.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll hear about Dragon Quest 8.
Do you think we'll hear about because it's guaranteed 7? We mentioned, right?
Well, yeah, I don't know if they'll cover a lot about 7 because they have been putting out videos talking about it already for the last month. And I honestly don't want to know much about it. I want that one spoiler free.
Right.
So I don't want to know much about it, but I'm because that is a game I've never played before. I've played 8 before, and I want to replay it again. But so I hope maybe they'll talk about both.
Cool. Yeah, I think. Shoot, I don't know if I have anything else. Oh, Yokai Watch 2. We'll hear about. That's coming out at the end of the month. See, the thing is that people are getting really excited, and they forget that there's actually quite a few games that are coming out that they'll probably spend a lot of time on. So, I guess maybe we'll hear about. They'll remind us that Federation Force exists, and maybe announce some sort of weird. They're not going to update that game. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. That's about all I got. Cool. So let's head on to our next story here. I know we were going to say 3, but I think 2 is probably good. Next one here. Renegade Kid has closed. It's over. Good day. Yeah, Renegade Kid has closed, which is kind of crazy. That's kind of a big deal because they are the creators of Mutant Mudds. They're creators of what was the one? Zeo Drifter. And I want to say, didn't they just do a Kickstarter, or did the Kickstarter fail? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Kickstarter.
I don't know either.
Renegade Kid. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
Well, doing a quick backtrack, I just...
Oh yeah, Cult County. Remember? Yeah, they had like some weird Cult County Kickstarter. Yeah. Anyway,
No, I don't remember. So
I have no idea what that is.
quick backtrack. So
That's a fail.
I mentioned. I don't know if I mentioned it or if that was pre-show. Phoenix Wright comes out next week, and then Dragon Quest VII comes out the week after that. So we're 2 weeks out from that.
Right on. Yeah. No. So here's my thing is like Renegade Kid, and they've already announced that they're doing some chicken game. Whoever the next version of this company is, I don't know. That they here's the thing: is this is what happens when you literally just release Mutant Muds over and over and over again. Because how many times did they release Mutant Muds? And like, why is I don't know. I bought it once. I'm only going to buy it once. Like, what's the deal with this? What's the deal? I don't know. So
That's your second Seinfeld reference today.
yeah, there you go. So they were also creators of. So on the Wii U, they did Mutant Muds, Zeo Drifter. On the 3DS, they have lots of titles. So they are of course people who were behind Moon and Dementium, and Dementium 2. They also did Bomb Monkey, Planet Crashers, Dementium and Dementium 2 remastered. So they do a lot. This is the thing that I noticed about this company was that they revisit their old content a lot, and they weren't really keeping it fresh, as the Squid Sisters like to say. So I don't. I guess this isn't entirely a surprise to me. It's sad, and of course, like we're sad that everybody. I think what they've done is they've kind of split in two. So there are now two studios: Atui, who owns all of Renegade's Kids,
Gesundheit.
Ps. So all of the 2D intellectual property like Mutant Muds, Zeo Drifter, all that stuff has gone with Atui. And Infintismo, which owns all of Renegade Kids 3D IPs such as Dementium, is now all of those ones are go to Infintismo.
Okay, I did see something about a TUI, but I didn't understand the context. I just
So Atui,
now I get it.
Yeah, so Atui, I think what is that? Is that the one that Jules Watson has gone to?
Again, I don't remember. Again, I didn't know much about this.
Anyway, so yeah, so he's basically now the head dude of Atui LLC on Twitter. So go and follow those dudes. But yeah, for the most part, they've split ways. The two gentlemen behind Renegade Kid they have split their directions, and they're now two different companies. So interesting. I hope to see this Chicken Wiggle game, which I actually have not. I haven't watched the trailer for, but I'm interested to see it. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts about this? Anything?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I
So Renegade Kid. Renegade Kid is the company. Have you guys played Mutant Muds or Zeo Drifter or anything?
I didn't like Mutant Muds.
No?
I didn't play any of these games at all.
Yeah. So I'm going to put a link into this very short trailer into our chat. This is the new game that they're going to be releasing. Interesting. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but I don't know. I'm not surprised. I wasn't a huge fan, but of course there are a lot of people who really, really like what they do, and of course Jules is like a pretty big name out there. He's pretty active on social media and stuff like that. So to all those people who lost their jobs like that always sucks too. So okay, let's round up a couple of quick more things. Minecraft Wii U had a pretty big update. I actually haven't seen it, so if you have Minecraft for Wii U, it's a big deal. Go check it out. And as well, My Nintendo Gold coins now last for 12 months, not just 6 months. Yay!
Yay! Still nothing to buy. Yay!
Still should have been that way anyways.
There might be tomorrow.
There might be something tomorrow. That's right. Yeah, we could have stuff tomorrow. That's a good point. Finally, let's get into some rumors and.
Well, before we do that, I want to say I did this 2 months ago. I plan to do it again tomorrow morning. I'm going to do an article on VG Tribune, just saying what's new and when they expire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right on. So go and do that. Spend your coin. I don't know. Is that a thing people say? That's my new tagline. Spend your coin. I don't know.
Just did.
Yeah, there you go.
I spend your coin, Zach.
Trademark. Okay. Let's into some rumors, shall we?
It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you are going to get.
All right, rumor time. We have some rumors. The Oracle herself, Emily Rogers, has looked into her crystal ball once again and says that the force feedback has some. What is this? Jesse, you wrote this. Force feedback in the controllers has some truth to it. Okay, explain yourself.
Okay, so this article kind of, which is, I don't remember when the article was, but they said that the controllers will have force feedback similar to the Vive controller, which I've no idea what that is. I know what it is, but I've never touched it myself to know how it feels. But basically, when you can push the buttons, and the buttons can push back, so it gives you.
Oh yeah, so like the I think the Xbox One has something like this. So
yeah,
like
so a little tactile
yeah, so
feedback.
like you squeeze the trigger, and then it actually, if there's like resistance, it can create resistance on that trigger pull.
Yeah, and plus
they've used on.
Yeah, and plus the rumor it adds that it'll have some motion control functionality.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Okay.
Big surprise that they're not completely abandoning it.
Every controller has motion control. At this
Exactly.
point. We got to just accept this. That shouldn't even be a rumor. We
Just
should
put an
know.
accelerometer in the thing, and you're done. Like that's where we're at.
Yeah, that's probably all it is, but that's probably all it needs to be.
Yeah, exactly. So that's that.
We got to be able to play Splatoon 2 with motion controls because I refuse to play Splatoon without motion controls.
Splatoon.
Oh,
Yeah.
every time. Keep going. Okay, so that's that one. No, I can't.
No, wait, hold on. They're gonna call it
Oh,
the new.
You know what? I hate to tell you this, guys, but we lost some of our audio. I don't know what happened. We're gonna
Uh-oh.
pull the audio. Anyways, okay, so we'll figure out exactly when it was lost, but we'll need to download the audio. Weird.
Right.
Anyways, we're back.
They're gonna call it the new Splatoon.
Oh,
The new Splatoon.
the
NX Edition Classic.
the new fresh style Splatoon sequel. Oh,
The Stay Fresh edition.
Stay Fresh. No, the new Stay Fresh style is what it'll be. Every single variant of any hardware from now
Are
on.
they going to put Galaxy in there somewhere?
Yeah, the new something style that will be like like your 3DS that you have, Jesse, the black one that you got was just the new black style.
Right.
Like everything. It's just new blank style. That's the new variant edition or whatever. I don't know.
The new Splatoon Breath of the Wind. Oh, I mean Wild.
Yeah, the new something.
Call of the Wild.
So force feedback. There's apparently some truth to that. That's what her crystal ball said. It also said she has the prototype. She says the prototype has a 720p 6.5-inch multi-touch display.
Okay.
6.5 inch.
Or 6.2 inch is the same size as the gamepad.
6.2, not 6.5.
Yeah, 6.2. 6.2.
Okay.
That is a 2, not a 5.
But it's 720p.
Yes. So it's physically the same size as the gamepad display, but it's 720p with multi-touch. So probably more along the lines of an iPhone 6 Plus.
Like a big Vita.
A big Vita, yeah.
With no thing. Okay, she says the prototype docking station has 2 USB ports. She wasn't sure if that number will change in the final product. I have a really hard time believing. Well, I guess the Wii U has them. Never mind. I was going to say I have a really hard time believing that Nintendo's putting USB ports on this thing. But I guess maybe that is the case if they're for.
Well, we did kind of talk about that in the past, where
I guess the Wii U does have USB ports, so it's not that big of a deal.
yeah, if you can attach a hard drive, have digitally downloaded games stored in the hard drives, which then you can send a copy of it to the handheld device for on the Go Play.
Yeah.
We are not going to swap. We are not going to swap games between the dock and the system. It makes no sense.
I'm not saying I didn't say it's
that's-
going to be pretty, but that's just kind of what I'm.
Okay.
If it was USB 3.0, it wouldn't be that bad.
It better be.
But
It's not. That's BS.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm surprised Wii U wasn't 3.0
Yeah.
Okay,
because
guys,
that really limited for compatibility with hard drives.
there's a reason we all hate iTunes and never plug our phones in.
I do
To
that all
iTunes?
the time.
Yeah, no, you don't.
I
Stop
do.
it.
Okay, so here's the option with that though.
Connected to my computer running iTunes.
Okay, but are you syncing? You are syncing contacts and things with iTunes. Tell me.
Yeah.
That's.
Yes.
Here's the thing,
Yes.
though, Dave, and here's the reason why people still will do that from time to time is if you have a very big video collection, or if you are watching movies on your iPad or your iPhone, you don't want to have to download a 4 gig file every time you want to watch a movie, other than that's not from Netflix, right? So if it's like if you have a whole bunch of videos or movies or whatever, you want to be able to connect it to your computer so that you can transfer them over a USB cable onto your iPad, because otherwise downloading a 4 gig video file takes forever, right?
Oh, I just download them on Wi-Fi overnight. I never had this problem, and I have a huge iTunes movie catalog. Maybe I just hate iTunes so
Okay, well,
much.
again, with my gigabit network, I can transfer it from my library to my other computer that I do the syncs with, 4 gig file in maybe a minute and a half.
Right, yeah, so it's not a like the thing transferring games, like full games, if it was USB 3.0 or some proprietary whatever, being able to transfer even full size games would not take that long.
Okay,
I don't think you want to do that every single time you play a game. I think that you want to have a save file that you move wirelessly between the portable and not. But what you have installed on the home console or the portable or whatever, I think is if they are indeed stored separately, which we don't know that. It could be that you plug your handheld into the dock and it uses that storage to run the game on the local one. We don't know. Again,
as long as
this is all crystal ball, right?
as long as I never see the Pikmin system transfer animation ever again, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
I want to see that again.
No, it's endearing, Dave. It's endearing.
No,
That.
you do not know the heartache that was transferring to that new 3DS from my old one. It was torture, my friend. It was absolute torture, and it crashed like 6 times.
It's like Pikmin PTSD. Like every time he even walks out into his garden now. Oh gosh. Oh, never mind. Okay.
I don't remember having problems with it.
Yeah,
It was-
lucky you.
It was just really for me. It was just a kind of a long procedure. But finally, MCV's report about Game Freak being involved with NX has some truth to it. Okay, so Game Freak
Wait,
is going to be developing.
So it doesn't mean it's a Pokemon game. It could be something completely different. Game Freak
Harmonite-
has done non-Pokemon games in the past.
Harmonite 2. I'm calling it now.
Ah,
I'd be down for that. I liked Harmonite. Okay.
Or that horse game. The horse.
Horse Solid. What's it called?
yeah.
What was that called?
I have it here. I actually
Jesse
enjoyed that
Card
game.
Jockey.
I was like, Jesse played it and liked it. he
Pocket
said.
Card Jockey. Yeah.
Yep.
Pocket Card Jockey.
Yeah, so that's a possibility too. Other NX rumors, there's going to be a share button, which please goodness sake, you know what I want actually is I want a button. I don't know how the share button works on the PS4, but I want to be able to just push the button, like maybe even like five times really fast, like boom boom boom, and then be able to go to my like quote unquote camera roll later for screenshots. Like, that's what I want this button to do.
Yeah,
because I love taking screenshots and collecting them and whatever. And then the worst thing is, now I have to go. It's like stop in the middle of my game and go to Miiverse and like screw around with the clunky Miiverse interface until I can save this screenshot. Like that sucks. So that's what I want that to be.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I'm not sure how the share button on PS4 works either. I've never used it.
I have. I can tell you.
I've got I have an external solution for streaming and saving game content.
yeah. Sorry, Dave. What were you going to say? You said you have one.
Yeah, I use it because I'll put out like Rock Band screenshots for living room clutter. So like, you press that share button, you basically get your camera roll with a screenshot or like the last 2 minutes of footage because it's always just capturing that. I guess I don't know.
I think
And then-
it's like a PVR for the last couple of minutes.
Right, and then you can just press like tweet / Facebook / Miiverse, I guess.
So depending on the game, the games have the ability to specifically shut that functionality off.
For certain,
Like
so when you
when I was
like-
playing Batman Arkham night. You know, when it got to like a big, heavy part that was spoilery, it said you can't share this. I'm like, I want this is exactly what I want to share. So that's why I have my own external solution.
Yeah, I mean, I have an external solution too, but like for quick screen grabs, I think the share button on the PS4 is fine. I mean, Jesse, I have the equipment here too, but I find I use whatever is easy, and I think broadcasting just using the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation camera is great. If I could just broadcast to YouTube using the gamepad camera, and I mean, I know it's awful. I know the microphone is awful, but if I could just do it, I would.
Yeah. The other thing that we had as well is the split D-pad. We kind of talked about this in the pre-show. Dave, you had speculated that it may be like the PS4, where it's just 4 directional buttons, like an up, down, left, right, a button for each, and it's still kind of in the shape of a D-pad. I think that this actually, if we've seen some of the patents and the sort of concept stuff where the left and the right side are each their own controller, and you take both of them off, you can play with them as one controller and have a really interesting control interface, very similar to the Wii U. But then if you were to take them off, then it's almost like a traditional sort of NES controller with a D-pad and the 4 buttons or something. But in this case, it would likely have instead is a joystick and the 4 buttons, whereas like it would either be up, down, left, right, or it would be an ABXY, depending on what it is, but it would essentially be the same one. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on, like, I kind of would be sad if the D-pad goes away, but especially since it's like a big part of Nintendo, but I can see the reason behind it if they end up, kind of going with this sort of detachable thing and you want to have the two actually be controllers.
As long as it's comfortable to hold, I really don't care what it does or looks like, or
yeah,
just as long as it's usable.
What would you do?
Unlike Ouya controller, that is garbage.
Oh,
Retron 5 controller, that is garbage.
No, Retron 5 is steaming hot garbage. What about like what's it called? Yeah, so this was my question. So, what about if this is the case and it is more portable, what would you guys think if the NX went to the circle pad instead of a joystick? What do you think? Or maybe the option. You don't like that idea?
No, I don't. Oh God. Okay. I don't like the circle pad. I don't. If I could snap a normal analog stick on top of the 3DS, I would be so much happier with the 3DS. Yeah. That's I think why the Vita feels more comfortable in general. No, I don't.
Yeah, there are some games where the circle pad wasn't a problem. There's some games where I didn't like the circle pad, especially near the end of my second playthrough of Ocarina of Time. I did a month or two ago. By the end, I would have wished it was a joystick instead of a circle pad.
See, and I'm going to be controversial. I really actually I really like the circle pad. I prefer the circle pad over a joystick.
The only good thing about us,
it depends on the game.
I think so.
Yeah, the only good thing about the circle pad to me was that you could put a penny on the side of the circle pad so that you could have your character in Pokemon X and Y ride in circles around Lumiose Tower to hatch eggs, and you didn't have to do anything.
That is actually, I've never done that. That's awesome. Yeah, I would love to. I don't know. I wouldn't mind it at all. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah,
that's how I hatched like 600 Axews to try to get a shiny Axew, and I didn't get one.
I would way rather play, like, for games that are very sort of Twitch based, what's like Kid Icarus. No, not Metroid Prime. Kid Icarus Uprising. I really liked the circle pad for that, and Smash Brothers. Actually, I really like using the 3DS as a controller. Even when playing on the Wii U, I like playing with the 3DS as a controller. On that, it'd be super cool. I'd be down for that. I'd like it. It's better than using a freaking joystick. It's more precise. I think that's my opinion on that. Anyways,
I also tend to be a little controversial because I like the N64 controller.
Yeah. Yeah, right on. Very cool. So next up here, yeah, I think that's it. Do we have anything else, or should we get into what we've been playing?
Do it.
Do it.
All right, man, that still bugs me that stopped recording. That's really dumb. Anyway, so Dave, you are the guest of the show. What have you been doing, good sir?
Playing Uno on PS4.
Wait, what?
Wow.
All right. I've been playing Pokemon X and Y on my 3DS, so that's not exciting. But I'll tell you about Uno. It's $10 in the PlayStation Store. It's got online video chat and voice chat with friends,
Okay.
online multiplayer, and it's fantastic.
Wow.
It's so much fun, and it belongs on the Wii U.
Wow. And it's
Yeah.
it's like straight up Uno, right?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, well, there's like a weird, because it's made by Ubisoft, it's got, like Rayman's Rabbit nonsense Uno.
Because that screams Uno is Raving Rabbit. Nothing says Raving Rabbit's like Uno.
Which is awful. But regular Uno is so much fun. And having online voice chat, man, I was playing with the guys from like another podcast on my network, and we were playing for like 4 hours. Like, I'm not kidding.
Wow. Nice.
I'm telling you, if you got a PS4 and you want a game that will occupy an absurd amount of your time with just online multiplayer, it's Uno.
I'm actually surprised about the number of games on the PS4, ported to PS4 from mobile. Because I looked up the Uno page on the PlayStation Store, and people who bought this also bought Pac-Man 256. Like, really? That's on PS4 too? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that either.
That's amazing.
That's for $5.
Oh, well, maybe I'll get that too.
Nice. Right on.
Yeah, and then other than that, Nintendo, the only thing I'm doing Nintendo is X and Y. I'm playing X casually. Just through again, ready for Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Finishing up Pokemon Blue, because that game is a grind.
Do you think we're gonna get the stuff at the end, or the transfer? That's not coming immediately with Sun and Moon, is it, or is it?
I'd expect it to be.
Maybe we'll hear about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's actually something that I'd be really interested in hearing about. Is having that how we're going to transfer from Red, White, and Blue Virtual Console to Pokemon Bank.
Red, White, and Blue. Thanks, America.
Oh, sorry, Red, Blue, and Yellow. Jeez.
Pokemon America edition.
And it's just all Snorlaxes. Wow, that was not condescending. My
Thanks,
apologies,
Zach.
America. Anyway,
You don't have another.
Oh, what's that one? Pokemon.
there's no beaver Pokemon, so or
You don't. You don't have another Canadian here to back you up.
I know. No, I'm usually able to just get away with stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, geez, wait a minute. Anyways, what about you, Jesse? What have you been playing?
Okay, I'm trying to find the name of this real quick. Where is it? Oh well. Oh, the Gumshoes. Gumshoes Pokemon will be in that game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Donald Trump book.
Yes. Okay, I've been playing. I put more time into Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and as I mentioned earlier, I ended up making a video that you should check out. It's on my channel, not the Nintendo Dance channel. I call it Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Cross Splatoon, and
Nice.
you'll know what I'm talking about as soon as you see it.
I like it.
And so I actually had this was spoiled. The event in the game was spoiled for me in the previous video I watched last week, but I'm glad it was because I knew it was coming. I was ready for it, so I was able to record my own copy of it and make the video. Otherwise, I would have missed it.
Nice.
Okay, and then remember, actually, some of the side quests in this game is silly. One of the side quests was literally I walk up to a guy in a mascot costume, and he's dancing around like an idiot, and
Like you do.
well, more so than normal because he The quest, he opens up a quest, and he wants you to go to a pharmacy and buy anti-diarrheal medicine.
Oh gosh. Wait a minute. Why did? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
So can you imagine that in a mascot costume that you can't take off? Unpleasant.
Wow.
So you go to the pharmacy, you have to pay the 1,700 yen out of your own pocket, which, equivalent of about $15, which you don't get back. He doesn't pay you for it, which really isn't a big deal because at that point I had 2.5 million yen.
Okay.
Anyway, so still $15 for that. That's expensive medicine. So and then you go back, you bring it back to him, and you get a reward. That was literally the quest. I'm like, that was the weirdest thing I've ever done.
That's amazing.
Okay, and there was something else I wanted to talk about. What was it?
I'm afraid of this game.
Yeah, it is awesome. If you like Persona games and the weirdness that happens from that, you'll enjoy this. Okay, so remember the first time I talked about it, I mentioned the dungeons has areas that are obviously blocked off, and the game tells me I can't cross this now. So, which tells me I'm going to be able to come back later and get on the other side of that wall. And every dungeon has these sections, which means I'm going to have to go on some epic 6-dungeon fetch quest somewhere in the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 5, fetch quest time. So that's where I'm at. So I'm running around
Backtracking
to all the old dungeons, picking up the sections that I couldn't reach before. So I have no idea how long this thing's going to be, but so I think I still got some, probably with 2 chapters and 1 intermission left. I probably have still a good 15 to 20 hours of play.
Mm.
Wow.
Very cool.
I thought I played something else, but maybe I didn't.
Nice.
No, I'll just call it that.
Cool. Right on. Well, I have been playing a little bit more of Federation Force, Metroid Prime Federation Force for the on the 3DS, and that game continues to be really good. I really like that game a lot, and yeah, so it's really good. I'm surprised at how much I'm enjoying this game, both the online and the single player. I feel like I think I'd said this in our bonus episode, but I feel like I'm going to play this game where I played through the level. I beat the level first on single player, and then if I want to go back and get like all the bonuses and whatever, then I'll do it on multiplayer afterwards. But the first time through, I actually really do enjoy just playing through them single player. And I haven't really reached anything so far where I am having a hard time. Eventually I'm assuming that it'll get really hard on single player mode, but they've done such a good job at balancing it for single player that I'm like, it's actually not bad. I kind of like it. So I continue to enjoy that game, and it's really fun. So that's the first one I've been playing. Next up, I have been playing World of Warcraft Legion, which is not a Nintendo game, so I won't spend a ton of time on it. But if you have ever enjoyed playing World of Warcraft, chances are a very high percentage of people have played it. Like there's been a ton of people who have played that game. It's back. Like it is as good as it's ever been, in my opinion, so far. The sort of goodness, it's good classic WoW. It feels good. They've really kind of made the fantasy of your class really a central part of the expansion, which is really cool. So I'm playing a hunter, and so like a big part, there's like a big quest hub, sort of the class hall, where I'm like up in the mountains. It's like this hunter's lodge, and like if you play a shaman, then you like are playing in like this huge maelstrom storm in the middle of whatever, and like it's really cool. I really, really am enjoying it so far. That's only been out for a couple of days, but I've enjoyed what I've played of that. And then I have a review copy of Jotun, it's the indie game Jotun. Come on, people! It's been out actually. I found out it's actually been out for a while and for quite a while on other platforms, but it's coming to it just is coming to Wii U, I think. So impressions are incoming on that one. But yeah, so I have been playing that, and then PlayStation VR had a setup booth at the West Edmonton Mall where near where I live, and I actually got to sit down and play it over the weekend. When does that come out? Soon? Like soon-ish? I don't know.
Soonish.
But anyway, so I actually got to sit down and play it, and I played the Eve Valkyrie demo for it. And so I get there, and they have like 4 different booths set up, and I sit down, and they put on the headset. They actually sit you down. I've also played the HTC Vive demo where they actually have like an area tethered off for you to play in the Microsoft store in the mall. And like you stand there and kind of turn around and whatever. The PlayStation VR demo, actually they sat you down on a couch. But you basically they sit you down, they put the thing on, and she's like, I'm going to touch it. Don't you touch it, because people just want to grab the thing and then shove it on their head. And all the circuitry is actually in the piece that's in front of your face, and not like any of it in the headband or anything. It's all right there. So she's like, so if you break it, then I lose my job. And anyway, so she just she joked about it, but it does seem like the headpiece itself is a little bit flimsy. Like you could grab it, if you grabbed it by just the headband or whatever, all of the circuitry runs through. It's kind of like the 3DS, how all the circuitry goes through the hinge. It's kind of like that, where all the circuitry kind of goes through the hinge of the headpiece. Anyways, so I sit down and I opt for the Eve Valkyrie demo, which is like the heavy VR demo that they have. And you're sitting in this spaceship and you just fly around. It felt like Star Fox. Actually, I started thinking, man, this feels like Star Fox. This is cool, but it's like it's like a full 360-degree environment. And you're just flying a spaceship around and shooting spaceships and stuff. And it was really, really cool. I feel like I would actually really enjoy playing a game like that in full VR. My concern with VR, and this was both with the HTC Vive and the PlayStation VR, is over the past, I don't know, I'd say maybe 8 or so years. When did the iPhone 4 come out with Retina display? What, Jesse, do you remember what that would have been?
iPhone 4 would have been 2010?
Yeah, something like that. So the past like 6 years or so, there's been a real big push in improving improving the
resolution
of the screens that we have, right? So 1080, it started with like 1080p screens, right? HD screens. And then over the course of several years, we've really gotten used to having really high def screens. I use a Surface Pro 4, which has a ridiculously high res display. Like I never see any pixels on this thing unless the app is for some reason not supporting high def displays. And then they sit you down and they put on this headset, which it has to have a high enough refresh rate, right? So in order for it to be affordable technology, that screen, which is right in front of your face, I can see every single pixel, right? You see that jagged edges sort of thing.
Oh no!
It's like pasting a 3DS to your face.
No, that's the thing, right? Is that even if it is a really good screen, like, which I'm sure it is, and it's like got PS4 quality graphics, but it's not crystal clear. It's not like going to the movies and watching a 3D movie. It's all really, you can see the graininess of it. It's not crystal clear. And even when it's sharp, it's not that sharp. It's not amazing. And so I was like, you know what? I really, really like the technology. I love the technology. I think that 5 years from now, once they get the, like the 3rd or 4th gen of those, of these VR, whatever, where they actually get really clear, like HD quality, because that's what it is. It's like, this is going back to like old school screens. It's like, we're going to see an HD VR a few years from now. And that is when it's going to be amazing. Right now I don't feel, I'm sure you'd get used to it eventually, right? It's just with everything, you sit down with your 3DS and you're like, oh man, this screen sucks. And then you play it for a few minutes and then you forget. And that's, yeah.
So you were talking about like the spaceship game. Have you gone to like a Dave and Buster's and played the Star Wars pod thing? Have you done that?
What is that?
So it's like a circular 360-degree pod that like has a door like in the back. Okay. And then you get in it and you're in like, with like a flight stick and like shooters, and you're basically playing, a destroy the Death Star in this 360-degree pod with surround sound, and these super high definition screens that are all the way around you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is way more immersive than VR is ever going to be. Because I'm sitting in a spaceship chair in space. Like, I can look in every direction. I'm using a flight stick.
Yeah.
I'm all for like VR being a thing someday, but like I still need like the momentum. Like if I'm running in a game, I need to be physically running for me to be excited about
And
it.
they kind of do that. Like I know what you're saying. Like even the, like going to like Star Tours in like Disneyland, where they'll kind of fake different sort of like G-force things by tilting you in certain directions. So if like even if you are accelerated really fast, then they'll just tilt you backwards, and it feels like you've got that G-force on you, right? Those sorts of things happen. They fake that like with using like Rumble, like that was so like when I was in like those long corridor sort of spaceship launch corridor hallway things. Anyways, so you hit the blasters and then you shoot out of the spaceship, right? And the thing shakes, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And my other thing too is that I really, if it was my headset, I would have like squeezed that sucker on there and like made sure there was no light coming out from underneath the headset, and I would have cranked up the headphones. But obviously it's like a public demo in the mall, right? So it's not the ideal. I imagine if you were to actually have the headphones really turned up as loud as I would have wanted them, it would have been like I probably am irresponsible with how loud I like my headphones turned up, honestly. Right? But really good sound is really important in immersion. And it was and having mediocre headphones is not in a mall demo is not going to do a lot for immersion either. But having said that, the immersion was huge on that, and it was really, really cool. And I would play, like 10 out of 10 would play again. I don't know, whatever. It's just the resolution that I have an issue with. So
I want a 360 wraparound screen. I think I've decided I don't want a headset right now.
Here's the thing, though, is that thing was very comfortable. I guess that's the other thing I'll say, is that headset is very comfortable to the point where you put it on, and like I put it on and I forgot that it was on my head. Right?
That's good.
So it's nice and light.
That's what you want.
Right? And so that's the kind of thing where unless you're like really working hard, I don't think you're it's the thing just being it on there. You know how you get like even like really big headphones that make you sweat because they're just crappy design and they just seal off entirely? It wasn't like that. So I feel like it would be pretty good. And the nice thing is that you don't need a full 360 wraparound. You only need enough to cover your peripheral vision, and everything else is taken care of, because I could turn around 180 or it was a funny moment though, because I like had my stuff on and I like looked down, because that's the test in VR, right? That's the immersion test in VR. I looked down and I had a very nice female body. I was like, oh,
go Zach.
I was like, that's interesting. I have breasts. Okay, well, it's not entirely new, but anyways, so it was immersive, right? So all right, we killed Dave. So that was VR. So let's I think with that,
looks like according to an article I found written in mid-June, it's slotted to release on October 13th.
For which?
PlayStation VR.
Yeah. So it's coming up right away. They're promoting the crap out of that.
So they're about 6 weeks out.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not getting one.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, right? Is like if you get a PlayStation 4 and the headset and the move controllers and everything else, like I think it ends up coming to over $1,000 Canadian, which is
I'd say it'd be about $1,000 in US.
Yeah, like
so
it's
probably more like 1,300 Canadian.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's well over $1,000, and so like I like to those people who are early adopters for VR, I salute you. But it's gonna suck when like 2 years from now we've got HD VR and it doesn't work anymore. Anyway, let's head into some. Let's head into. You know what? I still don't have a community spotlight bumper. I don't know. We'll do. I don't have anything. Anyways,
I'm a kid. I'm a squid.
I'm a squid. I'm a kid. I don't have anything available to push on my soundbar. I'm gonna update my soundboard soon.
I say that every week on my show. I do. I really do. I say I'm going to update it, and I never do.
Yeah, and I have, like I said, I have Jotun.
I thought you meant you say you're a kid or a squid every week.
Yeah,
Well, I am.
that too. He is absolutely a kid and a squid. So let's go to the community spotlight real quick. I don't have a bumper, but Dave, you've got a Pokemon show now, right?
I've got a quick Pokemon news / kind of just like my opinion, and like I'm basically just making that show out of my love for Pokemon.
Nice.
That's what it is. I hope it grows. I hope I can do some interviews. I'm hoping to I don't know, see where that goes. It's called Going Pokemon. I know, super original name. You guys mentioned it. I thank you.
Yeah.
It's a quick little show. It fits nicely, and if you're listening to like a bunch of like hour-long podcasts, it's nowhere near that. And I like it for that.
No, that's good. I like
It's
it.
like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Right on, man. And so where can people find that business?
Dacespace.com. That's DACESPACE.
Right on. Very cool. Well, go and check that out, people. I've been wanting to get on there, and then I never know when you're recording, and I also am like getting back to school this week, and
We will find time, Zach. I promise.
okay, we'll do it. All right, let's get in.
If you do that, you will have officially been on the show, and Justin will have not. So you might want to get on that.
Yeah, dude. All right, let's get into listener mail, shall we? All right. So we have a voicemail and an email this week. For some reason, these Google voicemails are like coming in like over like nasty copper wire or something. I don't know. They don't sound great, but we'll play it anyways, and we'll just kind of talk about what it is. I kind of have an idea, so let's play it and then enjoy afterwards. We'll talk about it.
Hello, Nintendo Dads. It's Brendan. Catching up on podcasts, and I'm hearing a lot about Metroid and Samus, and I was thinking that possibly could the next game be what they're waiting for to hear about with virtual reality and VR and all that, and actually playing first-person games using VR, because I think I would be able to grab so many people onto the VR gimmick. Because, I mean, I haven't really played those games, but like, hey, lately it's been interesting me because of the that fan made. So, just a thought. Love the show. Keep on some good work.
All right. I think that was it kind of cut out. Was that Brandon that did it say?
I think it was Brandon.
I think. Okay, so Metroid VR. I don't think Nintendo's doing VR. Not yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Nintendo's that delay that the NX is being delayed for VR support. Maybe it's being delayed to be powerful enough to possibly support VR someday. Maybe.
I think, yeah. I don't think that they would. I don't think that it's going to be VR. I think, if anything, it's interesting that the handheld version of, a portable version of something like the NX, of a home console, a portable version of a home console could attach very well to something that is VR related, right? Like, I think that it would be really interesting. They've already got the freaking, if it is indeed what everybody says it is, they've already got this portable thing. Hell, just make a headset and slot that thing in like they've got with smartphones, but instead it's a full gaming device. That'd be sweet. That'd be a piece of cake to do that, right? In order to do that well, this is another thing entirely, but in order to actually, if it's already that Wii U size screen, pop that baby in there into a headset, you're good to go. So I think that would be really cool. I don't think they're doing it yet, though. I think they got a ways to go before they do that. Although I do like the idea of doing like a Metroid Prime. They've already got the whole like headset, the whole like HUD thing figured out. It'd be really cool to just have a HUD, and then go Metroid Prime style. I really like that idea. A Metroid Prime VR game would be sweet. I don't know. What do you guys think, Dave? Did you have more you were saying about that? Sorry, I cut you off.
I don't know. My dog came over and needed attention.
And you're like, oh, you're dog, and just
that's,
totally
that's exactly what happened.
What about you, Jesse? What do you think?
I think that'd be something that I would stay away from with my history of Metroid Prime-ish games.
Yeah.
But
It would,
you know,
are you interested in VR? Because the one thing I don't like about VR is that you're forced to be in first person. You know what I mean? And some of my favorite games are third person.
I agree, and I remember, VR was a big fad in the '90s, in arcades, and they were like, really crappy resolution. Think, your PS1 N64 first generation polygonal graphics in a headset. It was horrible, but some interesting things did come from it, and so I'm sure VR will be something interesting later. I just don't think we're quite there yet. And hopefully Oculus 5 Sony can figure things out.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if they do it. It'll be cool, but yeah, I don't know. So let's real quick think. What other VR? What would you like to see if Nintendo did VR? What would you like to see?
First person Mario Brothers 2D game in 3D.
Mario Kart VR.
Oh gosh.
That's what I want the most. When I think about it, I want Mario Kart VR.
Oh wow, that'd be crazy. So like, did you ever play, what was it? I don't remember what it was called now. Anyways, like those arcade booth sit down arcade.
Mario Kart Arcade?
No, but those are third person like orientation, right? Like the ones that were actually like sit down
Daytona.
Daytona, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Whereas like first person, where you could do first person, you could also do third person, but if you were a bad A like me, you played Daytona in first person, or like
that's how you play a racing game at an arcade. You play in first person.
Yeah, and when you crash your car, which is inevitable, and it does like a bunch of 360s, and it's about the most nauseating thing in the world.
Yeah.
Very cool. Next up,
how about like a Skyward Sword like game where you need
no,
you're swinging something like a sword in a Zelda in a 3D first person Zelda game.
No, because here's the problem. I need to be able to run around. So until they invent 360 treadmills that I get to run around Hyrule in, I don't care about Zelda VR.
That's a good point.
They've already got the Wii Motion Plus, so that's the Wii Remote Plus deal.
I can swing the sword now. I don't need VR to swing the sword. Like, I need to be able to run around Hyrule. That's
true. And here's the thing, and that's like thinking back to this Eve demo. I think what made it so good, is like such a good demo, is you're already sitting in a spaceship, right? And so
that's why Mario Kart VR works.
Yeah. I like it because you're right. As soon as you actually have to start walking around, it makes it weird. You're right. But if you're already sitting in a spaceship or you're sitting in a car, then it works. What if you were like sitting in a mech? Would that make a difference?
Yeah, I think that works too.
I think that actually would work because then you're actually like, okay, well now it doesn't feel so weird because if I was actually sitting in a mech, then I would be using these controls. And so maybe you would use 2 Wii remotes or whatever, but like, moving your arms like you're walking or something. I don't know.
Well, actually, I hate to go back to Dave and Buster's, but there was a time when I was probably like 8 years old, somewhere 8 to 10, and they had these mech pod things set up where you went on this big like platform and there were a bunch of people and you all got into these pods, and then you're playing this basically land mech party shooting game. So you're controlling a mech, moving your arms just like that in a like a robot thing. So you're sitting in a pod. And I think it works. So I think VR, I guess you could put me in a mech. I still think it's dumb.
Yeah, well, that's a given. Yeah, we'll see.
It's a dumb solution to a problem that they created on their own by creating VR.
Yeah. I don't think the VR is going away, I guess is my point. Like
I think it resurges again. I think like Virtual Boy era, like everybody tried to do this nonsense VR 90s VR. I had a weird karate VR game. Let's not even talk about it. But
Wow.
but I think this is the second wave for my lifetime, and I think I see it again when I'm like 45, and I think we figure it out by then.
Nice. Right on. So finally, last email here, or we got an email as well. This is for Adam from Megadads, Adam Leonard. He says, "Hey guys, I have a suggestion for the show. About a month back, you guys read a community letter where the writer was trying to figure out how to make his girlfriend/wife play video games and get off of Facebook," which that was hilarious. Of course, I thought that the insight that Jesse had about how couples have to balance and appreciate each other's time and interests is vital to making a relationship work. It was the longest stretch I've heard him talk on the show about something not related to JRPGs, and it was really good.
Truth.
It's hard to get a word in with me and Justin. I'll just get in Jesse's defense. Like, yeah.
I normally do the short little snappy things anyway. I don't normally do the long drawn out soapboxes.
Yeah.
But that episode I definitely did.
Jesse monitors the chat room and pulls things out of the chat, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. He says, I thought it was really great and in a really great and insightful moment, and thought it could totally flesh out into its own segment of fatherly advice. You could call it Ask Uncle Jesse or something. I think injecting a topic sidestep away from video gaming every once in a while would really do a lot to freshen up the program and still stay in the dad wheelhouse. Keep up the great work as always, Adam from Mega Dads. I really like this this piece of feedback, and it's not the first time that we've had like people say, "Hey, I wish you guys did more dad related stuff." I think I want to turn it back to the community and say if you have things, ask Uncle Jesse in the subject line, and
Oh boy, that reminds me when I first started dating who is now my wife. I met her nephew, and he was pretty quick at the uptake. Within 5 minutes, he goes, "Hey, if you marry Auntie, that would make you Uncle Jesse." And he's probably the age where he probably doesn't know Dukes of Hazzard, but he probably knows Full House.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a Full House reference.
And my reply was, "Never say that again. Just call me Jesse."
Shut your mouth, boy. That's awesome. Oh, so good.
And
nice.
he's now in the Navy, and he can call me whatever the hell he wants. I don't care anymore. Thank you, Navy man.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it definitely is. Yeah, if people want more Ask Uncle Jesse stuff, I think that we've actually had a lot of, the past several weeks we've had some good discussions that were kind of branching out from the Nintendo side of Nintendo Dad. So absolutely, all sorts of relationship advice. We'll have Uncle Jesse give you his advice from all of his wisdom in the chat room. Hey, Uncle Jesse, where do babies come from? Yeah, there you go.
Storks.
I love the idea of the Ask Uncle Jesse segment being like again, this email being like, oh yeah, like, it was really insightful and that, and like he talked more, he came out of his shell and really gave some solid advice. And then the next one's like, hey, well, what about this? Storks. And that's it.
Like I said, short and snappy is that's my comfort zone.
Full stop. That's the end, right?
Don't Google it.
Yeah.
Don't question it.
Don't Google it. Yeah. So that is that's the end of the show, peeps. First off, I want to thank you, Dave, of course, for being on the show.
Anytime at all.
Where can people find your stuff? You talked about it a little bit before. Remind us again, where can people find your stuff on the interwebs?
I run DaceSpace.com, DACESPACE. There's a ton of podcasts over there. There's Character Crunch. There's all things nerdy. We talked about Nintendo a lot. We talked about Suicide Squad recently. DC movies.
Cool.
Do a show about Rock Band, Living Room Clutter, also over there. Rock Band, the video game, not rock bands, because I know, that's.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Those are two different things.
Rock Band is Rock Band like? Is it still a thing? Do people?
Yeah,
say that?
Rock Band 4, man. Rock Band 4, PS4,
You know what?
Guitar Hero Live
I-
for Wii U.
I played Rock Band. Like I played Guitar Hero a ton, but I never actually had ever played Rock Band before on the drums. I went over to my friend's house, and he actually had Rock Band set up, and I played the drums and realized that I'm actually really amazing at the drums. Who knew?
Yeah, I played the hell out of Rock Band 1 and 2, and the drums was my primary.
Oh, it's amazing. I love drums.
I was thoroughly enjoyed. I just don't have the room in my new house anymore to set everything up again.
It was so
There's-
fun
there's-
that I almost went out and bought Rock Band, like even like an old version of Rock Band, just so I could play the drums in my basement. Like that's how much fun I had.
It is that fun, Zach. I'm telling you. Get back to it. It never died. Get Rock Band 4. You got a PS4, right?
No, I have a Wii U and that's it.
Oh well, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I was literally
Wait.
supposed to go buy like a. I have a PS3 and a 360 and a Wii U. That is where
Then you get a 360 version of Rock Band 3,
Mhm.
and you just install all the customs, and you break. I'll tell you about it later.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so that's right on. So dayspace.com. Go check that out. Thanks again, Dave. We have a few points here as far as looking into the future. On next week, we've got Josh Thomas coming back, which is going to be awesome. And then, of course, the Retro Rewind episode, just because of how things are working out, the Retro Rewind episode for Castlevania Circle of the Moon, we're recording it next week, and that'll be released on the 11th of September. And then we've got an interview with Drinkbox Studios regarding Severed, which is going to be out on the 19th. And we have Derek Bittner from Game Explain coming on the 21st, and on the 28th we have Jason Lapine from Nintendo Enthusiast and Indie Corner. Oh my gosh, so much stuff coming up in September as well. I've got a huge thing actually we're going to be talking about. I got a couple little special projects here. First off, episode 100, which I think is currently going to be sometime in like early to mid-October.
Yeah, if I count right, I think it's October 19th, even though you guys have it noted as the 12th in the calendar.
Oh, is it?
So I think it's the 19th, but
Okay, so
I'll have to
somewhere-
recount that.
Yeah, so basically what
Somewhere
we've
in there.
Yeah, I'm currently working on with Gary Gray as well. We're working on a cool little sizzle reel thing that we're going to have with like a highlight reel. So if you want to help us do that, do us a huge favor. I'm actually going to set up a Google form. So look on the website or whatever, or on Twitter or Facebook. I'll post a link to the Google form. But in the meantime, if you want to send us your favorite Nintendo Dads moments, you can do one of two things to help us make this highlight reel happen. First, you can go to you can email us the episode number and the timestamp of what your funny moment is, and then we will go and cut that out. Or if you want to save us the work and go and edit that piece out of the episode and just send us a smaller MP3 file, that works too. So we're gonna, we'd like to have as many of those as we can. Roughly like 3 to 5 second clips, I think would be fine. Even like little one-liners that are like 2 or 3 seconds long. Anything longer than 30 seconds is probably too long though. So you can just email those to us, nintendodads@gmail.com. Of course, if you want any sort of well wishes and stuff like that, you can send those either via the voicemail line, or the voicemail line seems to be a little bit crackly lately. So if you want to send us MP3 files or voice memos from your phone, nintendodads@gmail.com works too. So we're really hoping to blow the lid off of this episode 100 and just kind of do a lot of navel gazing and self-congratulatory stuff for that. I don't know. Well, we appreciate so we appreciate you guys, and we'll hear. Hopefully by then we'll be able to talk about NX. That'd be great.
I hope so.
What if that's when the NX stuff drops?
Oh gosh, dude, that'd be amazing.
That would be so
And then
exciting.
at the end, they're just like the end of the direct Happy 100 episode or Nintendo Dads. That's
Wow.
the Reggie just points right at the camera and be like, Zach, Justin, Jesse, I love you. And then it's like,
I think the odds of us getting Bill Trinan on the show is better than that.
you mean the possibility of Nintendo publicly
Of Reggie calling us out.
publicly on a Nintendo Direct?
Right.
Yeah, that's probably I agree with your appraisal of the situation. Yeah. So as well, reminder: Castlevania of the Moon, Circle of the Moon is our retro rewind for this month. and just a little bit more time voting for that retro rewind. We have a voting.
Mega Man 2.
I think Zelda 2 may still be winning.
Marty's right, everybody. Marty's right. Mega Man 2 is a better game.
Yeah, so we got
Telling you.
Go check that out. We'll see what happens. But Zelda 2 is currently still a thing, but we'll see. The people will decide. The people's choice, the people's voice. I don't know, whatever that means.
I can tell you already what your Zelda 2 retro rewind is, but I'll let you do it. But you're gonna wish you played Mega Man 2.
There you go. Right on. Put that on the box quote. Zelda 2, which you'll wish you would have played Mega Man instead. Right on. Well, thanks everybody for listening to the show. Of course, if you want to follow us on all of the social medias, absolutely go over and do that at Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Nintendo Dads. If you want to email us, you can do so at nintendodads@gmail.com. Go over to Twitch and YouTube. Subscribe to us over there. We're over there. Just search for us, Nintendo Dads. Of course, if you join us every Wednesday night around 9-ish, 9:30-ish Mountain Standard Time, or Mountain Daylight. I don't know. Is it daylight or standard time? I don't know. Mountain Time. Just do it. Call in and leave us a voicemail, 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. Huge thanks to OC Remix for our music throughout the show, as well as to Carter Johnson and Adam Leonard from Megadads for their amazing artwork as well. If you want to buy some sweet Nintendo Dads merch, go over to tiny.cc/Nintendo Dads store. And of course, if you want to change the world, go over to iTunes, Google, whatever. Give us reviews is what I want. Actually, just change the world with reviews. Get the gospel of Nintendo Dads to
all the stars,
all the stars, all the written reviews. And then if you want to subscribe, of course, go over to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and VGTribune.com. For me, for Jesse, for the missing Justin, and for Dave, we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dad.